least you did. You made my man look like a bunch of minimum wage. That's hurtful. Who are you?
To achieve peace, through your arrogance and stupidity, you have opened these peaceful realms and innocent lives.
When Thor hit theaters in 2011, it marked a bold and ambitious expansion of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, introducing audiences to a world that stretched far beyond Earth and into the realm of gods, myths, and cosmic power. The film brought to life the story of the Norse god of thunder, blending elements of high fantasy, science fiction, and superhero drama into a grand spectacle that set the stage for one of Marvel's most important and beloved characters. It was a crucial moment for Marvel Studios, which was building toward the eventual crossover event of the Avengers. Thor represented a major creative risk, the challenge of adapting a mythological figure into a grounded cinematic universe that had so far been centered around human heroes like Iron Man and the Hulk. The story begins in the shining city of Asgard, a realm ruled by the wise and powerful Odin. His son, Thor, is a mighty warrior known for his bravery, strength, and arrogance. He wields the enchanted hammer Mjolnir, a weapon that only those deemed worthy can lift. Thor's journey begins with pride and recklessness. Eager to prove himself, he disobeys his father's commands and reignites an ancient conflict with the frost giants of Jotunheim. Odin, seeing that his son's pride has endangered the peace between realms, strips him of his powers and banishes him to Earth as punishment. Without his hammer and godly abilities, Thor is forced to live among humans and learn humility. On Earth, Thor encounters a group of scientists, Jane Foster, Eric Selvig, and Darcy Lewis, who are studying cosmic phenomena in the New Mexico desert. Jane, a passionate astrophysicist, is fascinated by Thor's sudden appearance and the strange energy surrounding him. Their meeting sets off a chain of events that blend wonder and humor as Thor tries to understand this new world while coming to terms with his own failings. At the same time, his brother Loki begins to unravel his own dark ambitions. Jealous of Thor and driven by a secret about his true heritage, Loki schemes to take the throne of Asgard, manipulating events from afar while Thor remains trapped on Earth. As the story unfolds, Thor's time among humans becomes a lesson in humility and compassion. He learns about sacrifice, love, and the value of protecting others without seeking glory. His relationship with Jane brings out a softer, more human side of him, and his experiences in exile begin to transform his pride into wisdom. Back in Asgard, Loki's deception grows as he seizes power in Odin's absence, setting in motion a confrontation that threatens both Asgard and Earth. The film balances these two worlds with skill, the grandeur, and mysticism of Asgard contrast beautifully with the grounded humor and warmth of Thor's time on Earth. The cast of Thor played a huge role in bringing this balance to life. Chris Hemsworth, in his breakout role, perfectly embodied Thor's mix of might and charm. His transformation from an arrogant god to a selfless hero became one of the film's strongest emotional arcs. Natalie Portman brought intelligence and sincerity to Jane Foster, portraying a scientist whose curiosity leads her to a deeper understanding of the universe. Tom Hiddleston's performance as Loki was mesmerizing, filled with nuance, jealousy, and pain. His portrayal added depth to what could have been a one-dimensional villain, making Loki one of Marvel's most complex and popular characters. Anthony Hopkins lent gravitas and authority to Odin, while Renee Russo, Idris Elba, Stellan Skarsgård, Ard, and Kat Dennings rounded out the cast with strong and memorable performances. Visually, the film stood out for its striking design. Asgard was depicted as a majestic, golden city floating among the stars, filled with gleaming towers, rainbow bridges, and shimmering light. The production design blended Norse mythology with futuristic elements, giving the world a timeless, otherworldly quality. On Earth, the contrast was clear, dusty deserts. Small towns and human technology grounded the story, emphasizing Thor's displacement. The blend of practical effects and CGI gave the film a distinctive visual texture that helped establish Marvel's cosmic aesthetic for years to come. Director Kenneth Branagh, known for his work with Shakespearean drama, was an inspired choice. His experience with grand storytelling, family conflict, and emotional intensity helped elevate Thor beyond simple superhero fare. He approached the story as a mythic tale of redemption and identity, filled with themes of destiny, honor, and the consequences of pride. Branagh's theatrical sensibility gave the dialogue a poetic weight, especially in the scenes between Thor, Loki, and Odin. These moments of dramatic tension felt almost like modern mythology, echoing classic tales of gods and heroes while remaining accessible to a wide audience. The film's tone was carefully balanced, epic and serious when it needed to be, but also humorous and lighthearted in the right moments. Thor's confusion and curiosity about human customs provided some of the movie's most memorable comedic scenes, like his attempts to fit into modern life or his iconic another coffee cup moment. These touches of humor humanized the god of thunder and made him relatable to audiences who might otherwise have found the mythological setting distant. Thor's music also played a crucial role in shaping the film's identity. The score, composed by Patrick Doyle, combined sweeping orchestral themes with emotional undertones that reflected both the grandeur of Asgard and the vulnerability of Thor's exile. The music underscored key moments of transformation from Thor's banishment to his final act of heroism, reinforcing the film's balance of spectacle and heart. As the story reached its climax, Thor faced his greatest test. With Loki threatening both realms and unleashing destruction, Thor was forced to make a choice between power and sacrifice. In an emotional and visually stunning finale, Thor proved his worth by destroying the Bifrost Bridge, cutting himself off from Asgard and Jane to save innocent lives. This act of selflessness restored his power and earned him redemption in Odin's eyes. The final confrontation between Thor and Loki was tragic and powerful, showing two brothers torn apart by jealousy, love, and destiny. Loki's fall from grace set the stage for future conflicts in the Marvel Universe, while Thor's return to Asgard cemented his place as a true hero. When the credits rolled, the film left audiences both satisfied and eager for more. Thor's story was far from over, and the post-credit scene offered a tantalizing glimpse of what was to come. The mysterious Tesseract, an artifact of immense power, was introduced, connecting Thor's mythic world to the larger cosmic threads of the Marvel Universe. This small but significant moment hinted at the larger interconnected saga that Marvel was carefully building, leading directly into the events of the Avengers and beyond. Thor was released during a pivotal time for Marvel. Following the success of Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2, the studio was proving that it could bring diverse heroes and tones together under a single shared universe. Thor added an essential new layer, the introduction of gods, other realms, and cosmic energy, expanding Marvel's storytelling possibilities in ways that would later define the Infinity Saga. The film's success showed that audiences were ready to embrace more ambitious and imaginative superhero stories. Critics and fans alike praised the film for its strong performances, visual grandeur, and emotional storytelling. While some noted that the Earth-based sections were lighter in scale compared to Asgard's epic setting, many appreciated the way the film grounded its fantastical elements in relatable human emotion. The chemistry between Hemsworth and Portman, the sibling rivalry between Thor and Loki, and the father-son tension between Odin and his sons gave the movie a strong emotional core. The film's legacy only grew over time. It established Chris Hemsworth as a major Hollywood star and turned Loki into a fan-favorite villain who would appear in multiple Marvel projects. It also laid the groundwork for the MCU's exploration of cosmic realms, paving the way for future films like Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange. Thor's evolution as a character from a proud god to a wise and selfless hero became one of the central arcs of the entire MCU. Looking back, Thor 2011 was more than just another superhero origin story. It was a film about growth, humility, and the idea that true strength comes not from power, but from character. It turned myth into modern storytelling and proved that even a god could be human at heart. The film's blend of heart, humor, and heroism continues to make it one of the foundational pillars of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It wasn't just the beginning of Thor's journey, it was a declaration that the MCU could tell stories on a cosmic scale without losing its emotional depth. Over a decade later, the legacy of that first film remains strong. It introduced a cinematic version of Asgard that still feels majestic, characters that remain beloved, and a tone that perfectly balanced fantasy and humanity. Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, became one of the most iconic symbols in modern pop culture, representing worthiness, responsibility, and the power of redemption. The film's success set the thunderous foundation for everything that came after, from the Avengers to the later Thor sequels, and it remains a shining example of how myth and modern cinema can unite to create something timeless.